the review for the classic Near Dark, directed by Catherine Bigelow. The movie that I've never seen till now, and I've always heard a lot of horror fans gush about it as one of their favorite vampire movies, so on. You know, Catherine Bigelow, talented director. I'm a big fan of Point Break. I grew up with that movie. Huge fan of that movie. I like Strange Days also. I think that's a really interesting, different movie. I should review that too. Now this, you got a great cast. You got Lance Hendrickson. I mean, I mean, one of my favorite actors. Obviously, he's in Aliens, James Cameron. This movie also kind of feels like a Cameron movie. I'm not sure if he had anything to do with it though, but Bill Paxton, another Cameron connection. He's in Terminator, Aliens, True Lies. Um, Jeanette Goldstein, she's in Aliens, and she's in Terminator 2. There's another actor in this that's in Terminator 2 also, which is just pretty awesome. Robert Windley. He's just in the movie for like a couple minutes, then he gets killed. But Adrian Pasdar is basically the star. Jenny Wright is also like a co-star, kind of, I'd say. But overall, yeah, I did like the movie a lot. The plot is a small town farmer's son reluctantly joins a traveling group of vampires after he is bitten by a beautiful drifter. So yeah, Adrian Pasdar is bitten by this girl. He then turns into a vampire. He then's kind of picked up by Lance Hendrickson, who's the leader of the group, who's like 150 years old or so. He said he fought in the war in the South, and they all kind of look at him like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, our side lost." um, but yeah, it's kind of different than a normal vampire movie. Um, I watched a review where someone kind of mentioned Inglorious Bastards. I guess I could kind of see that. It for me, it's like a western that almost takes place at night. During the day, they're usually in a car, different various cars, and they black out the windows, or they go to a safe house or a motel, and they just wait out to the night, which is why it's near dark. Um, I do think in the middle it drags a little bit, but I did enjoy it a lot. The editor of this, he edited I think he edited the first Terminator. So there is a lot of connections to James Cameron. He edited The Abyss. He edited Point Break, Strange Days, Snakes on a Plane. No, cinematographer. Yeah, the cinematographer shot Terminator. So visually, you definitely have a lot of Cameron in this movie. I mean, he shot Terminator 1, Terminator 2. Ghost. So really talented guy. Let's see. Is that all he did for Cameron? Turner and Hooch. Eraser, another Arnold movie. So very talented guy. I did really enjoy the look of this movie. Some of it kind of has that cold, kind of blue, steely look that you would see in Terminator 1 and 2. The music is really good. It's done by Tangerine Dream. Kind of has this melody of melancholy, I'd say, mixed with kind of a western feel, and I liked that. And they're basically they're trying to he doesn't really want to kill any humans to feed on them. He's feeding on Jenny Wright. She gives him blood because he's gonna die if he doesn't. And he's also being looked at. His father and his sister are looking for him, and they're trying to track him down. But he understands that now he's become a vampire, and he doesn't want to be found by them. Although he eventually is. There's a little kid vampire in it, which they turned a little kid into a vampire, so I guess he's a little kid forever. Kind of like in Mary Shelley, or not Mary Shelley, not Frankenstein. Um, Interview with the Vampire. So I don't know when that book was written, but a little bit of that in there. And then the little kid vampire kind of they bump into uh Adrian Pastar's family who's looking for him. And then the little kid vampire kidnaps his sister. He kind of becomes obsessed with her. Yeah, it's a little weird and creepy, I would say. But and he's maybe gonna turn her into a vampire. So there's that going on. Bill Paxton's great in this, though. He's having the time of his life, man. That's an actor I miss a lot. Definitely died in 2017, way too young. Just an actor who's just booming with life, and he can be like intimidating but funny at the same time. And he's just so great, especially that scene in the bar when he's like when they go up to the guy that's in Terminator 2, where he says to Arnold, "Oh yeah, you forgot to say please." Then he puts out his cigar on Arnold's chest. Then Arnold breaks his hand and throws him, and takes his clothes. That's the guy, and Bill Paxton like takes his shot, knocks it over. And then he takes his beer, and they're kind of messing with the guy. And then the guy starts laughing. He's like, "Hey, you're all right." And then Bill Paxton's like, "Pour him another one." And then he does. And then Bill Paxton's like, "Okay, now pay up." So the guy gets pissed at him. A bar fight ensues. He gets thrown across the room. And this is the scene where they slit the throat of one of the waitresses. And then they pour her blood from her neck into the beer glass, and they drink it. But they're trying to get Adrian Pastar to kill someone. Lance Hendrickson's like, "If you don't, then we're going to kill you." And that's kind of like happening throughout the whole movie, that they're trying to get him to do that. But um but yeah, I really did like the movie. It's not my favorite vampire movie. It apparently came out like a week or around the same time as Lost Boys, and that just totally destroyed it, and this flopped. And I guess Fright Night also, they made all the money, this flopped. It's too bad because it is a good movie. It's just kind of different, I'd say. One of the things I noticed that was different is uh the vampire don't have the fangs. As far as I could see, they don't have the fangs. They just kind of bite them and then kind of just suck the blood out of them. I don't know. I thought that was a little strange. Like, why not have just show them have the fangs, right? But like they come out right before they're about to bite. I know it doesn't really matter, but that's the thing. Like, it's kind of like I thought that was weird. I guess it makes it different, but still, It's iconic. I mean, why not just have it? It's kind of a complaint I mean, it's a strange complaint, but it's kind of a complaint I had. It's just kind of annoyed me. They just have normal teeth. Um, so there's that. And the effects in this are great though. Like a lot of times when they're getting burned by the sun, like at one point, Bill Paxton, they're in a motel, and the cops are outside, and they're shooting through the motel. There's all these beams of light coming through. Really great shot cinematography there. Bill Paxton like moves the curtain to look outside, which was kind of dumb of him, but like the sun's out. I mean, it's obvious it is out, but he does it. Half his face just gets burned to a crisp, like an overcooked piece of chicken. So I really liked that. The effects are great, and that happens throughout the movie because people are out in the sun for a little bit. They start smoking. Parts of their body catch on fire. Really good fire effects. Like I wonder if anyone was injured in this movie because obviously there's no CGI. It's all practical. Probably a lot of good stunt work. So really enjoyed that. Probably the effects and the cinematography. Obviously, her direction's great. Some parts that kind of felt like James Cameron to me. And I'm not trying to undermine Catherine Bigelow's talent or anything, but I've just watched James Cameron movies so many times, especially like right after he becomes a vampire, and he's kind of running around. Like that part, like really felt like a Cameron movie. And then when they go to that one place, and then he runs away. All of that, just like the tone and the editing. I don't know. It's just hard for me to put my finger on it exactly, but really felt Cameron to me. And I'm not sure when he met her, so but it could have to do with that. In it, the editor edited The Abyss, and the cinematographer shot Terminator 1 and 2. So, you know. And then also like at the end of the movie there's this scene with a semi truck. All of that felt very James Cameron to me. And it's also like a western to it, really western at that point, because you have Lance Hendrickson with the gun. They're in a small town with like shops going on both sides. So I really liked that. Oh, okay. So Cameron was involved in this. Okay, I'm looking at the trivia. I just don't know how much he was involved, but because like on Point Break, I know he ghostwrote the script. Actually, I'm gonna look it up. Is his name on the script of Point Break? Let me see here. No, it's not. But he is a producer on it. Yeah, James Cameron, executive producer. So yeah, James Cameron would eventually marry her future husband. James Cameron suggested to Bigelow that she use the ready-made ensemble cast from his recent hit Aliens. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of aliens in this. Thus, Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton, Jeanette Goldstein all appear in the Bigelow film. Michael Biehn had also appeared in Aliens, was considered but declined to participate. Oh, that's too bad. Man, then it would really feel like a Cameron movie. I wonder what he was offered to play the lead. That would have been great. I mean, the guy that plays the lead is good. I haven't really seen him in much else. But, I mean, I think Michael Biehn, I think that would have been awesome. He's Chipper in Top Gun. He's Frankie in Carlito's Way. That's another movie I like a lot. Carlito's Way. He's an Iron Man. Oh, he's in a TV series of Iron Man. cartoon or something. Top Gun, Streets of Gold. Yeah, I just haven't seen him in that much stuff, but according to Bill Paxton, the driver that gives him the finger when he's hitchhiking is played by none other than James Cameron, who had visited the set that day. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, that's the scene at the end with the semi truck. According to Lance Hendrickson, he prepared for the role of Jesse by coming up with a background for his character and acting it out. The origin story he came up was that Jesse was was in the Confederate Navy when he became a vampire. Henriksen painted his hair black with tar. Since that was an actual thing seamen did in the 1800s, he then added broken fake nails to make his fingers look like the extensions of his finger bones and went to the town at night like that. While in character, he managed to scare a waitress in Denny's and a hitchhiker twice his size he picked up on the road one night. The hitchhiker quickly asked to leave the car as soon as they drove up to the first inhabited area, so Hendrickson, without revealing that he was just an actor messing with the guy, gave the man all $80 he had on him as he was a good sport. Oh yeah, and if you could do me a favor and smash that like button, that'd be great. Helps the channel a lot. Usually for a vampire movie, the word vampire is never mentioned. Unusual for the vampire movie. During filming, the cast and crew had to deal with a train that would stop at the same intersection every night. One night, Paxton, in full makeup with half of his face missing, saw one of the train workers leave the diesel engine and went up to him saying, "Hey man, there's been an accident, and if you think I'm bad, wait till you see the other guy." The writer and director both were intent on making a Western, but realized that the interest in the Western genre at the time was almost non existent. So it was recommended that they mix genres. Since the horror genre it was in vogue at the time, the two decided to make a horror Western. The film marked Catherine Bigelow's first solo directorial effort, and the film's producer, Edward Feldman, told her that if she couldn't handle or didn't know what she was doing while filming after 5 days, she would be replaced. She kept the job. Yeah, I think she did a great job. When Severin and Jesse torched the motor home, Severin asked Jesse if he had remembered about a fire they had started in Chicago. It is assumed that they mean the Great Chicago Fire of 1871 that left more than 100,000 people homeless and destroyed businesses. Though a popular legend attributed the fire to a cow that kicked a lantern, the causes still remain a mystery. Before it became a cult favorite, the film had a showing at New York's Museum of Modern Art with Catherine Bigelow in attendance. Shot in just 47 days. 40 of those were night shots. But yeah, and throughout this movie, like, they're all just very dirty. It's like, but like, Bill Paxton looks like he hasn't like taken a shower in like years. Like, I don't know. Like all of them, like, they have dried blood on them. A lot of times they have like black soot on their face because they were burned, but then they heal really quickly because they're vampires. Let's see if Roger Ebert. Okay, I'm not finding a review from him. Has an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. He directed, well, he reviewed a lot of her movies, but he gave Strange Days a 4 out of 4, Point Break 3.5 out of 4, Blue Steel 3 out of 4. Should watch Blue Steel. K-19, The Widowmaker 3 out of 4. That's a good movie. That's a true story, actually. That's a pretty crazy story. Hurt Locker 4 out of 4, Zero Dark 30 3 out of 4. But no near dark. But I think that's about it, though. I did really like the movie. Now, if I had to put it against the Lost Boys, I think I'd still go with the Lost Boys. Honestly, I think that movie just has, because the two Corys in it and everything. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's just a little bit more fun. But this is the first time I've watched this movie. I've seen the Lost Boys a bunch of times, but I probably would go with the Lost Boys over this. But it's a solid movie. It's a good vampire movie, even though they don't have the teeth, which I kind of annoyed me. But um, definitely check it out if you're a Bigelow fan or a James Cameron fan. It's definitely worth it. And I guess that's about it. And I'll see you next time.